gender and a number. What is the gender and number of Yoshevei? Gender, number, and state of Yoshevei, guys. It's masculine and it's plural and it's construct. Okay? That's the gender, masculine. Number is plural. And state is construct.
Oh.
So Yoshevei is a masculine plural construct state. And it's a participle, in this case functioning like a noun. And it's a part of a construct chain, Yoshevei Veitecha, the dwellers of your house, which makes them definite, because it's not any dwellers, it's not any dwellers of any house, it's the dwellers of your house. This is why I'm translating it as a definite noun, okay, as a definite construct, the dwellers of your house, because your house is specific. Okay, and definite means specific. So the dwellers of your house. Happy are the dwellers of your house. Or here,
dwellers are females.
Come again? Oh, no. With no exclusion. It's not a matter of excluding women. The unmarked form, okay, in Hebrew is the masculine, at least for the nouns. That is to say, English is not very particular as far as the gender, but many languages are more gender specific. Okay, they specify gender here, wherever. Okay, and in Hebrew, when you don't want to specify a specific gender, you simply use the masculine because that is the unmarked form, right? That's the idea of, okay, this is we non-specific is also masculine. Okay. It's like in English, let me give you an English example. It's not as good as Hebrew, but let's say you offer, who wants to go to the market with me? So I'm asking as if the answer is singular, right? Who wants to go? It's not that I'm excluding the possibility that more than one person would say, oh, I want to go. Or that few people would say, we want to come. Okay, but the way to ask about that is the singular in English. Not that I'm negating a plural answer. In the same way, if I want to use the unmarked in Hebrew, I use the masculine. At least as far as the nouns go. As far as the numbers, the unmarked tends to be the feminine. Okay? I'm not saying it makes equal, but this is how Hebrew behaves. It's very interesting, by the way, Gary. And let me show you something very interesting, very modern, okay, not biblical, or at least not completely biblical. Just a second. I want to share a picture of something very interesting. A project that was done, I think, as a graduation project in one of the, just a second, let's see if I can find a good example of it. This is a little bit too complicated, but yeah, I'll show you this one. Okay. Bear with me. Okay. Let's see if you can read this. Should be, I guess, very interesting for you. Let's see. Okay, guys. Okay. Can you read this, guys? Anyone wants to read it? It is without the vowel pointing.
I'll take a stab at the first word, bruchot.
So you see beruchot. Anyone sees anything else?
Berukit.
Beruchit, you see? Okay, anyone sees anything else? Okay, we can all agree on part of it, right? We can all agree that the first one is a bit, the second, okay, I'll change the color to this heart. Okay, this is a bit, this is a resh, this is a vav, this is a kaf. Here starts the confusion. Gary suggested that this is a vav, and Betsy suggested it is a yod. And you know who's right? Both, yeah, both are right. Because whoever created this font did something very interesting. They wanted Hebrew to be gender, I don't want to say equal or multi, so he created the yod and the vav, right? And you look at it, it can be a yod, it can be a vav, right? And what about the next letter, which is also not your everyday tav? Your everyday tav would be like this. Here they got something like this.
Oh,
right?
maybe it's TH.
Yes.
It could be a tav, but it could also be what?
TH.
No, not a th. Look at this part. Very close, almost close. It could be a final mem, right? So it could be a tav, it could be a final mem. Thus, enabling you to read this word either as beruchim or as beruchot. You see what happens here?
Yeah, I see.
Guy's missing his bets.
And the same goes for the next word. You've got the same yod and vav and tav and mem sofit, kind of.
Oh, it says havim or havot.
Habaim or habaot. It's either beruchim habaim or beruchot habaot. Okay, either beruchim like habaim or beruchot habaot. Thus, addressing the same kind of issue that Gary pointed out about Yoshevei Veitecha. Why not Yoshevot Veitecha? So, right, here you have an interesting attempt at a more egalitarian kind of font that enables you to read either as masculine or as feminine, keeping the Hebrew. Now, what do I think about it? Listen, it's interesting. It's interesting. I think there is. Okay, if
what's the purpose of this?
What do you think is the purpose of this?
Double meaning for some context?
No, but what's the purpose of it? Think of listen. Think of Gary's question was an innocent question, right? He said, "Oh, it's excluding women. Yoshevei veitecha. It's masculine plural, right? So what about the women who are devoted to God? Okay, are they excluded? So think of a sign on anywhere in Hebrew that says beruchim habaim. That's the regular way of saying welcome in Hebrew. It uses the masculine form, beruchim, masculine plural, habaim, masculine plural. Think of a woman who is looking at that sign, and she is not thinking of the fact that Hebrew non-specific uses the masculine. She might feel excluded. So to accommodate for that, to be more egalitarian, more accepting, more inclusive, this font enables, enables the reader to read either as Beruchim Abaim or Beruchot Abaot. Is it like, do we not pay a price for such a font? I'm not saying that it comes without a price. Yes, Betsy.
I have always assumed women to be included with the masculine
Very
form
good.
of the
Sure.
plural.
Excellent.
And feminine only had its own ending. So
Right.
this is a little bit.
You're right, and you are right.
Thank you, Betsy.
But you can, sure, you are correct historically, no doubt. But you can understand how one could feel such a need. If they feel.
No, I can't, Nathaniel.
I can't.
Okay.
I'm too busy.
Okay, sure. I understand. Listen, guys, I don't say it comes without a price. But it does have, I can see, especially if people don't know the history and don't stop to think about the fact that the masculine is simply the non-specific, and it really refers to everybody, how they would think, oh, am I excluded? So the way I would do it is simply, okay, I teach, and you noted that I kind of put it, I said, listen, when it comes to number, the feminine is the non-specific, okay? You remember I said it? Right?
Yes, you said that.
Right, and the reason I said it, first of all, I wanted you to know that, but I also some people who have a problem with a masculine being the indefinite, and they try to find solutions for that. They don't try to find solution for the numbers to be inclusive for men, okay? Because again, I'm not saying that language and philosophy, language and politics are connected to one another. So if someone wants to find, is looking at the world through the prism of patriarchy and man being in charge of downtrodden women throughout the ages or something like that, they could find the fact that the masculine form is the unmarked and thus the default form in Hebrew as part of a greater scheme of oppression. I don't think it is the case, but I'm saying this kind of atmosphere might lead to a creation of such a font, which in and of itself is interesting.
Mm-hmm. It is interesting.
It is, right, and it's you know what? If I already showed you one super interesting font, would you like to see another one? Super interesting?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be brave.
You'll be brave. Okay, let's see.
Show it to us.
Come again?
You can show it to us. I
Right.
don't think we need to vote, but
You said you don't think what?
we need to vote. I hope not. We could just look at it.
No, but you need.
I think it's so interesting with language, though. I think it's important. I thought language is sacred in some ways, but
I think it is. I said it's very interesting, but it's super interesting to kind of note the idea. I think it's interesting. Right. Let me show you another font. Super interesting as well. Okay.
Ay, ay, ay.
oh my goodness.
Okay. Okay. Can you see the Hebrew letters here?
Shin, Pei,
Is this
and
Arabic?
Het.
Right. Shin, Pei, and Hey. Right. You could read it. As far as the Hebrew, you can read it. What's the meaning of the word safa in Hebrew? Safa.
I don't know.
Safa literally means lip. We pray, we say, Adonai, sefatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha, quoting the Psalms. Oh Lord, may you open my lips so my mouth could relate your praises, your glory. Okay, so safa means a lip, but it also means a language, exactly like the word tongue in English may mean language as well. So the word safa means language, and this is what we have here in the Hebrew. We have the shin, which is a sin in this case, the pei and the hey. You recognized it beautifully. How about the top part of these words? Anyone reads Arabic? I take it the answer is negative.
No, but we could if we had a font like this, couldn't we?
Possibly. However, this is not the letters. This is the word. So the word in Arabic here is lura. Lura means language in Arabic, but this is equivalent of an L in English. Okay, this is equivalent of a sound that doesn't exist in English. It's the rayin, the kind of a somewhere between the ain and the reish. Ra, lura, and this is a ta marbuta, which means it's a T that really sounds like a hey at the end of the word. Okay. So the word is lura, which means language, like in Hebrew, safa. So this font, whoever created that font, I forgot the name of I think it was a lady who created this. She found out that by reading just the bottom of Hebrew words, of Hebrew letters, you can identify the letters. And by reading the top half of Arabic letters, you can also identify the letter. So what she did, she combined the two, the bottom of the Hebrew letters and the top of the Arabic letters, thus creating this font, which combines the two. There are more examples. This is an interesting one.
What did she use it for? I mean, like, how do you use it?
Oh, you put in a restaurant, okay?
Okay.
For instance, and then you can read, regardless of your native language, you can read the word. So I'll give you another.
That's cool. That's neat.
That is cool.
Yeah. Right.
Let's do another one. You want to see another one like that?
Yeah, that was fun.
Sure, but that's the last one. We already passed our time. Okay, what's the Hebrew here?
Bait.
Right, very good. Bait,
Bait.
house. In this case, this is a little bit different than the previous one because the Arabic word for bait is bit. Also, it's the same. So here the letters are also the same sounds. Okay, not just the same meaning. This is the Hebrew bet and the Arabic b sound. This with, okay, bet, and then the yod. You can see the yod, but the Arabic form letter of the yod is like this, and then the tav, which again with the two dots above. We saw that with the word lura, when I told you that this is a T that sounds like a hey, we also had the two dots above marking that this is a T, but it was bound together. It was bound, closed, and thus it sounded like a hey. In this case, bit in Arabic and bait in Hebrew. And that's the word for house in both languages. So you've got the word house in Hebrew and the word house in Arabic. And both Hebrew readers like you guys and Arabic readers could read this word and understand the same word. In this case, they would even pronounce it quite similarly, bite and bit.
To know what was the reaction to this?
First of all, I don't know how many people, pay attention and take interest in typography and different fonts. I find it interesting, intriguing, and fun and creative. Is it going to lead a change, a radical change, where everybody's now going to write this elaborate kind of script that could accommodate for Hebrew and Arabic readers? I hardly doubt it. And can it work for every letter? I don't know. Listen, it is complicated because you have to have like a lot of signs, almost about 800 different signs, or a few hundred signs, because you have to kind of make sure you match every Hebrew letter with every Arabic